I told him it was a great team effort. We got contributions from everybody. Starters, bench, and then the walk-ons that came on at the end. Everybody played at a high level today. We shared the ball. We shot a high percentage. We defended at a high level. And so I'm happy, which is hard to say sometimes as a coach. So I was happy with the performance. We played another really good first half. I didn't want to let up the second half. They played better. They scored the ball. They're dangerous. They decided to attack us downhill on the dribble. They got to the foul line, and they were a lot more aggressive going to the basket this game. So they presented us some problems. But for the most part, I liked our energy and our effort, and very pleased with the win tonight.
Thank you so much, Coach. Up first, we'll have Ben Fletcher.
Coach, congrats on the win. You guys, you're averaging well within the 90s in the last 4 games. So this offensive explosion that's been happening, to me, it still seems like you go into every game with a defensive mindset. How nice has it been to have the offense to kind of supplement it?
Well, it's great. We're obviously scoring the ball at a really high level the last 4 games. And even though we didn't score a ton of points that second game at Utah State, our mindset was different. Thought we were a lot more aggressive attacking to the basket and playing more downhill than on the perimeter. So we have to continue that trend and get better at both aspects, offensively and defensively.
And then Matt Mitchell continues to put his name in the record books for San Diego State. How nice is it having him back when you didn't even know if he'd be playing right now?
It's great. Matt plays at a high level, and he does it the right way. He plays for his team first, and his numbers are not as important as wins are to him. And so it's nice to see him get individual accolades, but the most important thing Matt will tell you is winning basketball games for San Diego State, and we're proud of him for that.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats.
Up next is Mark Ziegler.
Dutch, I'm assuming Matt's minutes limits were lifted tonight?
I apologize. I didn't look. How many did he play?
29.
29. I'd say they were lifted tonight. So he was rolling along. He was playing well. And so I think moving forward, that may be more the norm than anything else. Heavy minutes for Matt, especially if he's playing as well as he did tonight.
Did you feel like if there was any rust from his injury, it's gone now? Tonight was sort of the example of that.
Yeah, I thought his rhythm was better tonight. He shot the ball well coming off the injury, shot the ball well from 3 at Air Force, and then shot some in the first Wyoming game. But he was more aggressive off the dribble today, which means he's got more confidence on that leg with the brace and more downhill than he's been in the first 2 games he played.
What's an update on AG?
He just continues to, he comes to shoot around. He looks great. He's 100% ready to play, and then he goes home and he starts getting dizzy and not feeling well. And we got him back to the training room, tried to help him, but he was unable to play again. So I feel bad for AG. We need him moving forward, so hopefully the medicine and the treatment he's getting will help him through this.
Do you have any kind of update from doctors? I've heard vertigo is something that can go away very quickly, but it's something that can last a long time. What's your concern level at this point?
Yeah, I'm concerned, because I don't think there's any set pattern to it. We've got him on medication. We're getting him to the chiropractor, trying to get his alignment together, and just do all the things that we can do, following the doctor's advice, and try to give him the best chance to come back. But we don't have any control over it. So if he's feeling well enough to play, he'll play. If he's not, then it'll just continue to be, we'll play a man short and do the best we can.
And a quick question for Matt, just same thing. Were you feeling more back to normal tonight than you have since the injury?
Yeah, I can say I felt more comfortable in the brace. But as long as I'm out there, I'm playing. I always feel normal. I think if I didn't feel normal, then I wouldn't be out there.
And you mentioned when you first came back, the biggest adjustment was the brace. How long are you going to have to wear it, you think, and how well have you adjusted to it, or is it still a little bit of a bother?
Minimum 4 weeks from the first time I put it on, maximum 6 weeks. I definitely feel a lot better in it, and being in the brace, trying to get used to it, but not too used to it, because ultimately I'd like for me not to be in the brace, the duration of the season.
Thanks.
Paul Garrison, you're up next. Paul, you're muted.
Beg your pardon. Coach, on a day when Matt Mitchell entered the top 10 in scoring, could you just speak a little bit about what makes him such an elite scorer?
It's something he was given. You know, he's got a great feel for the game. I saw it in high school when I saw him for the first time. I fell in love with his game because he knew how to play. He could score at every level. He can shoot the three, he can post up, and he can attack to the basket on the bounce. So that makes him dangerous. And the thing I like about him, too, is he's a willing passer. So if he draws a double team, he's the first one to move it out. So this is something Matt was blessed with all the way through his high school career into his college career. And we're just very fortunate to have him in an Aztec uniform.
And then how would you assess Tomaji's play this series and just his progression to this point in the season?
I think Josh has been great. I mean, to come off the bench and spell Nate, I think it gives us a very, very dangerous 1-2 punch. And it seems like if one's struggling, the other one's not. And so we're getting productive minutes out of both of them most of the time. But Josh plays with great energy. He attacks the glass. He plays the right way. And he's just out there playing as hard as he can every time he's on the floor for the Aztecs.
Thank you. May I ask a question to Keyshawn, please? During the game tonight, Keyshawn, how do the coaches and your teammates encourage you to be aggressive on the offensive end?
Not only but today, but every game. We have a team full of very unselfish people, so it's like limitless, like unlimited encouragement, like everywhere. So regardless if I was playing good from the start or anything, they always just telling me next play, keep going hard, and so on and so forth.
And how do you keep for yourself? How do you build off of what you did tonight and bring it into the next game?
Just go back into the lab, work harder, listen to what the coaches got to say, get treatment, take care of my body, and list goes on.
Thank you. And one question for Matt, please. Matt, obviously great game tonight. This week you were named to the top 10 watch list for the Julius Erving Award. What does that national recognition mean to you and to the program that you lead?
I'm very grateful for it. I'm grateful for having that honor, being in the top 10. I think it's big for the program. Moving forward, just say that there's great talent that's come through here, and talent that can compete. And so I'm not really worried about winning the finalists right now. Of course, my play is gonna explain all of that and break it down once it gets said and done. But right now I'm just focused on winning games. And so I think winning that award comes with winning games and playing well. So I'm just going to do my best going to put my best foot forward to do that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Amber Salas.
Hi, sorry about that. This one's for Coach Dutcher. You had foul trouble throughout the entire game, so how do you think your team can better overcome that moving forward?
I'm just grateful we have the depth we have. You know, some teams can't afford to get in that kind of foul trouble because the guys coming off the bench aren't as productive. But I basically got 10 starters. Any of these guys could be in the starting lineup. They all are productive. So we're one of the few teams in the country that can handle foul trouble because the next guy coming in is as good as the guy coming out. So I don't like to be in foul trouble. Wyoming was a reason for that. They were much more aggressive, attacking us downhill. They weren't concerned with shooting as many threes, but trying to attack in the paint and draw fouls, and they were very successful at it.
And then going off that, Keyshawn Johnson was someone who came in and made an impact when a lot of guys were going out with foul trouble. So what were your overall thoughts of his performance and just making an impact when he needed it?
Well, Keyshawn has become very reliable at the defensive end. And you know in this program, that gets you minutes. And then it's just building confidence at the offensive end. You know, when he sees his first three go in, then there's a chance he could make 2, 3, 4 of them. So when you're coming off the bench, sometimes you're a little bit apprehensive. You miss your first shot or two, then you're just trying to fit in. But when he sees the first one go in, when he gets a post touch and scores in there, then he's feeling good about himself, and the team's feeling like they want to give him the ball. So that's just the nature of this game. Keyshawn will grow at both ends of the floor, and his offensive confidence will grow as he continues to have success.
And then I have one more for Matt Mitchell, if that's okay. Matt, Coach Dutcher said after Thursday's game that in the second half, Wyoming beat you guys, but this game, you guys beat in both quarters. So as a leader on this team, what was kind of your message to make sure that you kept that effort throughout the entire game?
As a leader of this team, my job is to keep these guys locked in, keep these guys focused, and that's my message. And I try and lead by example. I think that's the best way to see it fit, is to speak on it, but also take action and do as you would expect. So these guys came in and locked in for this fourth quarter, and that's how we talked about it in two halves, having these two games. And so this fourth quarter, we locked in and didn't allow them to outscore us. We kept playing till the end.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, Ben Fletcher.
This is a question for Keyshawn, if that's okay. Keyshawn, your game, it seems to me, has just grown so much, and you're so much fun to watch, especially tonight. Where do you feel like you've grown up the most over the last years in the program?
Defensively, like Coach just said, I've been more reliable on defense, and I also feel more comfortable on defense. I feel like I know where I'm supposed to be at when the time is right, and I also grown on the offensive way. Like, for instance, like offense just automatically is going to come to me, whether if I'm playing hard or struggling. Like, I just got to keep going.
Thanks, Keyshawn. Great game.
Thank you.
Up next is Julian.
Hey guys, congrats on the win. This one's for you, Coach Dutch. CBS Sports Network at the end of the game projected you guys as a 12 seed heading into the dance. I know February's right around the corner. Is that something you think about or crosses through your mind or any of that?
I think that's great for the media to talk about it because people are interested in hearing about it, but we have so much basketball left to play that we'll either play our way in or we'll play our way out, but our fate is in our own hands, and that's the way we want it. So we've been productive so far, but we have a lot of basketball left to play, and we will do our best to play ourselves into a position in the tournament.
Thanks, Coach.
Last question will go to Mark.
Dutch, you played 5 series now, and I know the Colorado State series had different results in terms of the scoreboard, but these games have been really, really similar, just in the way they've been played. There hasn't been that much that has changed tactically. Why do you think that is? Is it just not enough time between games to make changes?
For us, I don't know. We haven't had, other than the Colorado State game, a split where some of the teams are splitting. I know Boise, Colorado State split, Colorado State, Utah State split, UNLV, Utah State split. We've been either 2 wins or 2 losses, other than the 1 split. So I don't know the reason for that. I think we have good game plans. We don't have to make a lot of adjustments at either end of the floor, and so I think it makes it easier for us just to go out and play the second game because I think our game plan has been pretty solid on most of these games.
And tonight there were just a ton of fouls in the first half, and I actually saw a complete national breakdown on these series, on conferences that are having these series, and the biggest thing they noticed is in the second game there's a lot more fouls. Why do you think that is? You guys just a little bit tired, or is that familiarity? What's going on there?
I'm not sure, Mark. I know that Wyoming played different this game than they did the first game. That had a lot to do with our fouls. That every time we switched a ball screen or helped on a ball screen, they decided they wanted to go downhill. So they played aggressively to the basket, and that's always a hard game to officiate when both teams are attacking to the rim. And that's what happened tonight. So there were a lot of fouls. By and large, we haven't had that many. But this was one of the rare ones that both teams shot a lot of free throws.
And then a question for Matt. As you climb up the all-time scoring list of San Diego State on a night like this, do you ever think back about how close you came to not coming here? I mean, you had committed elsewhere and changed your mind, and do you sort of you feel blessed that you made that decision and don't regret that?
Definitely. I definitely feel good about the decision I made. I feel blessed that I'm in this position now, today. And I'm just happy to be here and be in the moment, living my life, and able to say that I made the right decision.
Do you ever think about it if you hadn't made that decision?
More on earlier in my college career, I did. You think about the what ifs and maybe what could have been, but all in all, I don't think what could have been matters. I think living in the moment and being present in the moment is what matters. Is what's big time for you, and it's been big time for me this year.